Friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. Friends, I was unable to upload video lectures from last 3-4 days because I was very sick. Friends, although I am not fully recovered, but now I am feeling better. So from now onwards, I will upload the video lectures regularly. So friends, in the last class, we were discussing about the collective decision making of Council of Ministers as well as the collective responsibility of Council of Ministers towards Lok Sabha. And in this class, we will continue our discussion further. Friends, here on the screen, you can see a diagram of a rectangle, and I have represented Council of Ministers in this rectangle. Okay, so this rectangle represents Council of Ministers. So as I have told you that three category of ministers are included in Council of Ministers. So all these blue dots actually represents all the ministers. Okay, so each blue dot represent a minister, and three category of ministers are included in this Council of Ministers. The first category is cabinet ministers, second category is minister of state and minister of state independent charge, and the third category is deputy ministers. Okay, so this black rectangle is a Council of Ministers, and these all blue dots are ministers, and all these blue dots are consist of three category of ministers: cabinet ministers, minister of state, and deputy ministers. Now friends, this big red dot represents Prime Minister of the country. Okay, so this is Prime Minister, and I have represented Prime Minister in red dot because actually Prime Minister is the boss of Council of Ministers. So he is the boss of Council of Ministers. Now friends, let's suppose the cabinet has taken a decision. Okay, cabinet has taken a decision, and in the last classes I have told you that the decision taken by the cabinet automatically becomes the collective decision of the Council of Ministers. Okay, so let's suppose that cabinet has taken a decision, and definitely, as I have told you, so the decision taken by the cabinet will automatically become the decision of Council of Ministers, and the decision becoming the collective decision of Council of Minister means all the ministers are agreed with this decision. Means this minister is agree, this minister is agree, this minister is agree, this minister is agree, and all the ministers are agree with the decision. Okay, means cabinet ministers are agree, minister of state are agree, minister of state with independent charge are agree, and definitely deputy ministers are agree with this decision. Okay, so once a decision is taken by the cabinet, then that decision becomes the collective decision of entire COM, and a decision becoming a collective decision of COM means all the ministers are agree with that decision. Now friends, let's suppose that this minister, okay, this is any minister, let's suppose this minister is not agree with the decision. He is saying that no sir, I am not in the support of your decision, I am not agree with your decision. Then what other ministers and prime minister will do? Definitely then prime minister will call him, and prime minister will say that please you get agree with this decision, what is the problem, tell your issues. Okay, but this minister is saying that no sir, at any cost, okay, I am saying at any cost I will not support this decision of the government, I will not support this decision of the cabinet. Okay, so this minister is saying that I will not support this decision of the cabinet, I will not sign this decision of the cabinet. Okay, then what prime minister will say? So now prime minister has second choice. So now prime minister will say that please you resign from your post. Okay, what prime minister can say? Prime minister can say that please you resign from your post, and once you will leave the Council of Ministers, okay, then there is no problem. Why? Because all other ministers are although agree with the decision, and you are the only one who is not agree with the decision. Okay, and the decision should be supported by all the ministers to ensure the collective responsibility of Council of Ministers before the Lok Sabha. Okay, so now what prime minister will say? Prime minister will say that sir, you have two choices. The first choice is that you tell what are your issues, okay, and we will sort out your issues. But the minister is saying that I will not get agree to this decision at any cost. Okay, I need this decision to be uh, killed. Means at any cost he will not give his support to this decision. Now Prime Minister will say that now you have second choice. The second choice is that you can also resign from Council of Ministers, and once you will give your resignation, then definitely all other ministers are agree with the decision, so this decision will become the collective decision of Council of Ministers. But this minister is very notorious, he is very naughty, so he is saying that sir, I will not give my resignation, I will not resign. Okay, so he is saying that I will not resign. So now what Prime Minister will do in this condition? So this is my question to you, that what Prime Minister of India can do in this condition, that a minister is not agree with the collective decision and he is also not ready to resign. Then what Prime Minister can do in this situation? So friends, just pause the video and think for 2 minutes that if you are the Prime Minister of India, then what can you do in this situation, or what the Prime Minister of India can do in this situation. Okay, so friends, here is the solution, and the solution is Article 75 clause 2. So friends, under Article 75 clause 2, every minister, okay, so here I am saying every minister, so every minister is individually responsible to the President of India. Okay, so as the entire Council of Ministers is collectively responsible towards the Lok Sabha, similarly every minister, every individual minister is responsible towards the President of India. Okay, so every individual minister is responsible towards the President of India. Now what is the meaning of this statement, that every individual minister is responsible towards the President of India? So this means that every minister holds his post during the pleasure of the President. Okay, so every minister holds his post during the pleasure of the President. Now friends, then again a question arises. Then the question arises that what is the meaning of this statement, that every minister holds his post during the pleasure of the President? So it means that President has the power to remove any minister. Okay, so President has the power to remove any minister. President can even remove a minister without any reason, and President can remove a minister for any reason. Okay, so every minister is individually responsible to President of India. It means that every minister holds his post during the pleasure of the President. It means that President has the power to remove any minister. Okay, President can remove any minister individually. But friends, now there is a twist. And what is the twist? The twist is that President cannot remove any minister on his own. Means this is not the discretionary power of the President of India. This is not the discretionary power of the President of India. So President cannot remove any minister on his own. But President needs the advice of Prime Minister of India for removing any minister. President of India needs the advice of Prime Minister of India for removing any minister. So it means that when Prime Minister will give advice, to the President of India for removing any minister, then President has to remove that minister. Okay, so we can say that in practice. Okay, so if we talk in practical sense, so practically Prime Minister of India has this power. Okay, so if Prime Minister of India wants to remove any minister from his post, then what Prime Minister will do? Then Prime Minister will simply give the advice to President to remove that minister, and then President of India will remove that minister from his post. So friends, in our example, there was a minister. Okay, there was a minister, and that minister was not ready to give his support to the collective decision. Okay, so first of all, he was not ready to give his support to the collective decision, and then secondly, he was not ready to resign also. Okay, so in this case, Prime Minister of India has the power to give advice to the President of India to remove that minister, and then what President will do? Then President will simply remove that minister from his post. And once that minister is removed from his post, then definitely all other ministers are ready or agree with that decision. So then all the ministers are agree with that decision, means now this decision is the collective decision of entire Council of Ministers. So now Council of Ministers can be held collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Now friends, I have one question, and my question is that what is the purpose of individual responsibility given in Article 75 clause 2? Okay, means every minister is individually responsible to the President of India. What is the purpose of this? So the very purpose of this article is to ensure collective responsibility. Okay, now what does it mean? So now I will explain it to you with the help of an example. So in our previous example, I have taken the example of Council of Ministers. Okay, so let's suppose that this rectangle is Council of Ministers. Okay, and all these blue dots are again ministers. Okay, and they will include all the three category of ministers, and this red dot is the Prime Minister of India. Okay, now friends, if a particular minister is not agree, okay, if he is not agree with the collective decision of Council of Ministers, now what does it mean? It means that this decision is actually not the collective decision of Council of Ministers. Why? Because any decision, listen to my words carefully, any decision will become the collective decision of Council of Ministers when all the ministers will get agree with that decision. Okay, and even if a single minister is not agree with the decision, even if a single minister is not agree with the decision, then also we cannot say that this is a collective decision of the Council of Ministers. Okay, so by using Article 75 clause 2, Prime Minister has the power to remove the minister from his post. Okay, as you can see that I have rubbed it. So to remove the minister from his post who is not agree with the collective decision of Council of Ministers. And once that minister is removed, then definitely all other ministers are ready with the decision, they are agree with the decision, and when all the ministers are in the support of the decision, then we can say that that decision is taken by all the ministers. And if a decision is taken by all the ministers, then we can say that this is a collective decision of Council of Ministers. So collective decision means that all the ministers are agree with that decision. All the ministers are agree with that decision. And if the decision is taken by all the ministers, then definitely friends, it is a common sense. It is a common sense that if all the ministers have taken that decision collectively, then all the ministers are collectively responsible towards Lok Sabha. Okay, so if a decision is defeated in Lok Sabha, then the entire COM will be removed. So what is the very purpose of individual responsibility? The very purpose of the individual responsibility is to ensure the collective responsibility of Council of Ministers towards Lok Sabha. And friends, this individual responsibility is for all ministers. Okay, means Prime Minister can remove any minister, whether he is a cabinet minister. Okay, so it is also a possibility that a cabinet minister is not agree with the decision, then Prime Minister can also remove cabinet minister by using Article 75 clause 2. So what Prime Minister will do, he will give the advice to President, and President will remove that cabinet minister. Similarly, Prime Minister can also remove Minister of State independent charge plus deputy ministers. So Prime Minister can remove any minister. Okay, Prime Minister can remove any minister with the help of Article 75 clause 2. And friends, with this, your topic of Council of Ministers is now complete. Okay, so now we have completed the topic of Council of Ministers. Now friends, let's start a fresh topic, and the new topic is the Prime Minister of India. So friends, first of all, the question arises that whether the powers of the Prime Minister are given in the Constitution of India or not. Okay, means whether the powers of the Prime Minister of India are exclusively and directly written in the Constitution of India or not. So what is the answer to this question? So the answer to this question is that the powers of Prime Minister, powers of the Prime Minister of India are not exclusively discussed in the Constitution of India. Powers of the Prime Minister of India are not exclusively discussed in the Constitution of India. Now what does it mean? It means that powers of Prime Minister are not directly written in the Constitution. For example, that this is the power of prime minister, this is the power of prime minister, this is the power of prime minister, this is the power of prime minister. So in this way, it is not written in our constitution that which all are the powers of the prime minister of India. So first point you have to remember is that the powers of the prime minister of India are not exclusively discussed in the constitution of India. Okay. Now friends, wherever there is any confusion, so definitely different people will give their opinion. Okay, so same is with the prime minister of India. So there are two school of thoughts. Okay, so there are two school of thoughts, first school of thought and second school of thought. And these two schools of thought give their different opinion regarding the powers and position of the prime minister of India. Okay, so there are two schools of thought, first school of thought and second school of thought. And these two schools of thought give their opinion regarding the powers and position of the prime minister of India. So first of all, I will explain you that what first school of thought says. So friends, let's suppose that this is Council of Ministers. So this blue rectangle which I am drawing on the screen is Council of Ministers. And all these blue dots are ministers. Okay. So all these blue dots represents three category of ministers: cabinet ministers, minister of state independent charge, and deputy ministers. And this red dot represents Prime Minister of India. Okay. So this red dot represents Prime Minister of India. Now friends, what first school of thought says that definitely Prime Minister is the member of Council of Ministers. So as you can see in the diagram that all these dots are drawn in the rectangle called as Council of Ministers, and similarly this red dot is also drawn in the rectangle called as Council of Ministers. So the first school of thought says that Prime Minister is the member of Council of Ministers just like other ministers. Okay, so what first school of thought says that Prime Minister is the member of Council of Ministers just like other ministers. Means as other ministers are the member of COM, so Prime Minister is also the member of COM, but Prime Minister is the face of COM. Okay, so though Prime Minister is the member of COM just like other members, but he is the face of COM. Face of COM means he represents entire Council of Ministers. For example, can you tell me the list of all the ministers in current Council of Minister? Okay, so if I will ask you, okay, or you can ask to any person that please tell the name of all the members of Council of Minister. Please tell the name of all the members of Council of Minister. So if you will ask this type of question from anyone, then definitely he will not be able to answer. Okay, you people are preparing for IAS, then also you don't know that what are the name of all the ministers of Council of Minister, and definitely nobody knows because there are many ministers. I have told you that Council of Ministers is a very big body, so nobody knows the name of all the ministers, but everybody knows the name of Prime Minister. So if anybody will ask you that who is the Prime Minister of India, then even a child can tell you that Mr. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. Any person can tell you that Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. Now what does it mean? It means that Prime Minister is the face of Council of Ministers. Okay, means for all the people who is government, Prime Minister is government. Who is the face of Council of Ministers? So Prime Minister is the face of Council of Ministers. Means the entire Council of Ministers is represented by Prime Minister. Okay, so this school of thought says that Prime Minister is the member of Council of Ministers just like other ministers. As other ministers are the member of Council of Ministers, so is the Prime Minister, but Prime Minister is the face of Council of Ministers. Means Prime Minister represents Council of Ministers. So they give the conclusion that Prime Minister is first among equal. Okay, who is Prime Minister? So Prime Minister is first among equals. Now what does it mean? It means that Prime Minister is equal to other ministers. Means as other ministers are the part of COM, so Prime Minister is also a part of Council of Ministers. Means all the ministers are equal. Okay, so Prime Minister is also equal, but Prime Minister is first among the equal members. Means though Prime Minister is equal to other ministers, but Prime Minister is the face of COM. So it means that Prime Minister is first among equals. So first among equals means Prime Minister is equally important to other ministers, and other ministers are equally important to prime minister. Okay, but prime minister is first among them. For example, we can say that, so if I have to explain you this in simple words, then I will give you one example so that you can understand it very easily. Friends, though I have tried to explain you this concept with very clarity, but I know that many students must be finding this concept difficult to understand. So I will give you one very simple example so that all the students will be easily able to understand the meaning, okay, meaning of the first school of thought. So what first school of thought says? So friends, let's imagine that this is a class. Okay, so this black rectangle is a class, and all these blue dots are the students of that class. Okay, so all these blue dots are the students of that class, and definitely we know that what is the aim of all the students. The aim of all the students is to take education. So all the students are equal. Okay, nobody is special, everyone is equal. Okay, so these all are the students, and let's imagine that this red dot is the monitor of the class. Okay, so who is that red dot? That red dot is the monitor of the class. So friends, even though he is the monitor of the class, but before becoming the monitor, who is he? He is actually the student of the class. So even though he is the monitor of the class, but then also before becoming the monitor, he is the student just like any other student. Okay, means all the students are equal. Even monitor is also a student. Okay, all the students are equal. Monitor is also a student, so monitor is also equal. But monitor is the face of the class. Okay, why monitor is the face of class? Because definitely he is the leader of class. Whenever teacher is absent, then he will maintain discipline in the class. He will tell about homework and other things which are told by teacher to the class. Okay, so this monitor is the representative of the class. So we can say that this monitor is first among equals. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to just compare this red dot. Okay, so you have to just compare this monitor with the Prime Minister of India, and you have to compare other students with the other ministers. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to compare Prime Minister with the monitor and other students with the other ministers. Okay, so as friends, as we can say that as monitor is also a student, and after a student he is a monitor, so he is equally important to other students, and other students are equally important to this monitor. Okay, so we can say that all the students are equal including monitor, but monitor is the representative of the class. Monitor is the leader of the class, so monitor is the face of class, so monitor is first among equals. Similarly, if we will apply this concept on the Council of Ministers, then we can say that all the ministers are equal. Prime Minister is also a minister. Okay, definitely minister is added after prime, so prime minister is also a minister, so all the ministers are equal. But Prime Minister is the face of Council of Ministers. Prime Minister is the leader of Council of Ministers. Okay, so he is first among equals. So this is first school of thought. Now we will discuss about second school of thought. Now friends, there is one more thing left about first school of thought. So the principle of first among equals is technically known as primus inter pares. Okay, so the principle of first among equals is technically known as primus inter pares. Okay, so first school of says that Prime Minister of India is primus inter pares. Primus inter pares means he is the face of Council of Ministers, but also he is equal to other ministers, means he is first among equals. Now let us discuss about the second school of thought. Now friends, second school of thought is definitely not agree with the ideas of first school of thought. So they are not agree with the idea that Prime Minister is primus inter pares. Okay, so the second school of thought is not agree with the idea that Prime Minister of India is primus inter pares, means he is only first among equals. So second school of thought is not agree with this point of view. So what is the point of view put forward by the second school of thought? So I will give you one example so that you can understand it very easily. Now friends, here in this diagram you can see that this is the diagram of a arc. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so this is a arc, and this is the chief stone. This is the chief stone of this arc on which the entire arc is standing. Okay, so this is the chief stone of the arc. Okay, so we can say that chief stone or chief pillar. So this is the chief stone or chief pillar of this arc on which the entire arc is standing. And this blue color, this is ground. Okay, so what is this? This is ground. Now friends, there is one question. Okay, I have one question for you all. What will happen? What will happen if this chief stone, will fall? What will happen if this chief stone will fall? So definitely if this chief stone will fall, then entire arc will fall. Okay, so if this chief stone will fall, then entire arc will fall. And if entire arc will fall, then the entire arc will be destroyed. Now what does it mean? It means that the survival of this arc actually depends on the survival of this pillar and survival of this stone. Okay, means this stone is the most important part of this arc. This arc will survive or not, it actually depends on this stone. It actually depends on this pillar. So if this pillar is weak, so entire arc is weak. And if this pillar is strong, then the entire arc is strong. Now friends, to explain you this concept, I will compare this arc with I will compare this chief stone, this pillar, as with the Prime Minister of India. So this chief stone or chief pillar is the Prime Minister of India, and this arc is the Council of Ministers. Okay, so this arc is Council of Ministers and this pillar is Prime Minister of India. So second school of thought says that Council of Ministers is just like a arc, and Prime Minister is just like the chief stone or chief pillar of that arc. So if PM is weak, then entire COM is weak. And if PM is strong, then entire COM is strong. Okay, and if PM will fall, then entire COM will fall. It means that the survival of the Council of Ministers totally depends on the Prime Minister of India. So second school of thought says that Prime Minister of India is very, very important. He is the most powerful minister. He is the most powerful officer. Okay, so he is the most powerful minister. He is the chief stone. He is the pillar of the arc called as Council of Ministers. So if Prime Minister of India will fall, then entire COM will fall. So this school does not consider Prime Minister as first among equals. This principle, this school of thought, consider Prime Minister as the most important part of COM. Prime Minister is the chief stone, chief pillar of Council of Ministers. Now friends, as second school of thought says that Prime Minister is the cornerstone, is the chief stone. Okay, Prime Minister is the chief stone of the arc called as the Council of Ministers. Means second school of thought considers Prime Minister as most powerful, most important. So now we have to prove this. Okay, because here we are not talking in air. Here we have to give evidences. So now we have to prove this. And how we will prove this? So now we have to discuss the powers and position of the Prime Minister of India. Okay, so now we will discuss one by one all the powers of the Prime Minister of India. So friends, what is the first power of the Prime Minister of India, or why the Prime Minister of India is called as the pillar, chief pillar or chief stone of the arc called as Council of Ministers? So friends, what is given in Article 74? Okay, so what is given in Article 74? So Article 74 of the Indian Constitution says that Prime Minister is the head of Council of Ministers. Okay, so who is the head of Council of Ministers? So Prime Minister is the head of Council of Ministers. So definitely Article 74 makes one thing very clear, that who is the boss? Prime Minister is the boss. Okay, so Article 74 makes one thing very clear, that Prime Minister is the boss of Council of Ministers. Now friends, just imagine that this black rectangle is Council of Ministers. Okay, and these all blue dots are ministers. And this big red dot, he is the Prime Minister of India. Okay, so this big red dot is the Prime Minister of India. Now friends, I will ask one question from you, that what will happen if Prime Minister of India resigns from his post? Okay, so the first condition is that what will happen if Prime Minister of India will resign from his post, and second question is that what will happen if Prime Minister of India dies? Okay, so the first question is regarding his resignation and second question is regarding his death. So if Prime Minister of India resigns from his post or he dies, then what will happen to entire COM? So friends, now I want to make you one thing very clear, that if Prime Minister resigns from his post or Prime Minister dies, then entire COM will go out of office. Means COM cannot survive without Prime Minister. Okay, so if Prime Minister dies or resigns from his post, then all the ministers will be thrown out of their office. The entire COM is dissolved. The entire COM is thrown out of its office. Okay, so if Prime Minister dies or Prime Minister resigns, if Prime Minister dies or Prime Minister resigns, then in this case the entire Council of Minister goes out of office. Entire Council of Minister is thrown out of office. So what conclusion we can make out of this? So we can conclude that Prime Minister, the survival of COM depends on the Prime Minister. Okay, so if Prime Minister is not surviving, then COM will not survive. So the survival of COM depends on Prime Minister. So definitely this proves the statement that Prime Minister is the most important minister. He is the chief stone of the arc called as COM, because the entire survival of COM after all depends on the survival of Prime Minister. Friends, now also I am not fully recovered. What I started teaching again because I was very much worried about you all. So now we will continue our discussion in the next class. Friends, heartily I want to thank all those students who have prayed for my health. And with your prayers, soon I will get fully recover. Friends, now also I am not fully recover. So now I think that we should continue our discussion in the next class. So if you have enjoyed the lecture, so please like the video, comment, subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon and share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC or any other state PSC. Friends, I have uploaded the link of notes in the description of the video, and you can also directly download the notes from my website www.prashantias.com. Now friends, we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.